Welcome to Yoga with the Christina Phipps Foundation. Today we'll be doing a gentle yoga class that we hope will help you to find a little bit of peace of mind and create new space within the body. Please remember, with any exercise program and with these videos, please consult with your doctors and other members of your treatment team before you begin this program. Remember to modify the sequence as you need, and keep in mind that you may need to change or omit certain postures, and you can tailor this practice to fit what will work for your body and your experience. Remember to practice kindness to yourself and to honor how you're feeling today and in this moment. And if you would like, find a playlist of relaxing spa music or yoga songs and put it on in the background while we flow through this class. So we'll begin today in an easy seated pose as we begin to center the body and to tune our attention inward. You can use a pillow or a blanket under the tailbone if your hips are feeling a little bit tight. You can also modify by using pillows or rolled up towels beneath the knees. Or you can practice this by sitting in a chair. Wherever you are, just find a comfortable position and begin to close the eyes, turning your attention inward, releasing any external distractions, and maybe beginning to lengthen the inhalations and the exhalations. Beautiful. And now bringing one hand to the chest and one hand to the belly, beginning to deepen your breaths here, feeling the expansion of the belly with each inhalation. And with each exhalation, using your muscles to press out that stale air. Nice deep breaths here, really allowing yourself to feel the expansion as far as feels comfortable for you. Shifting into a mindset of relaxation, allowing the shoulders to fall away from the ears. Beautiful. And now just scanning the body from top to bottom, noticing any points of tension. As you inhale, visualize sending air to those spaces, encouraging the tension to dissolve. And as you exhale, picture releasing anything that no longer serves you today and in this moment. Anything unpleasant, just picture letting it go with each exhalation. Good. A few more breaths here. Good. And then when you're ready, we'll begin to bring a little bit of movement into our practice. As you inhale, begin to lift the arms up only to the edge of your range of motion. Maybe you stop a little bit above where you started. Maybe you bring your hands up to shoulder level, or maybe you go all the way over your head. Whatever you're feeling today, whatever's right for you. Exhale, release the hands to heart center. And let's do that one more time. Inhale, the arms lift, choosing whatever level feels good for you. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful. And one more. Inhale, the arms rise. Exhale, hands to heart. And now we're moving into a gentle twist here, beginning to find that left hand on the right knee. A nice subtle movement here, keeping the spine nice and long. You don't have to go far here. Maybe the gaze begins to come over the shoulder. Good. Take a few breaths here. And then on an exhalation, you'll return to center. A nice cleansing breath in center space. And then we'll begin to move on to the other side. The other hand finds the knee, maybe beginning to shift your gaze. Crown of the head reaching toward the ceiling. Core slightly activated to provide you with support. A few breaths here. Good, now returning to center, we're going to move to a seated cat-cow pose. So the palms finding the knees, you begin to arch the back. The gaze might lift slightly, opening up through the heart space, only as far as feels comfortable. And then exhale, begin to move into cat, rounding the spine, the chin beginning to drop toward the chest, and moving at your own pace with your breath. You inhale into cow, exhale into cat, and this can be a very subtle movement here, a very fluid motion. Beautiful. And wherever you are, take one more round of each. And then we'll begin to create some space in the neck. So releasing the hands, spine is nice and long, feeling very stable. On an exhalation, you'll begin to allow the right ear to fall towards the right shoulder, creating space through the left side of the neck. Being careful not to force anything here. We're using gravity to help us a little bit, but knowing that you don't need to go far. Good. Visualizing, opening up through the left side of that neck. Beautiful. And next time you inhale, lifting through center, exhale, move the stretch onto the other side, left ear falling toward left shoulder. Good. Visualizing the release. We tend to hold a lot of tension in the neck. And next time you inhale, lifting through center, and then beginning to allow the chin to fall towards the chest. Maybe you don't go far, only enough to feel a little bit of opening through the back of the neck. If you'd like, you can rock the head from side to side gently, noticing the sensation. Beautiful. And when ready, you'll inhale, move through center, the head lifts. If you'd like, take a couple of rounds of seated cat-cow here. Again, syncing your movements with your inhalations and your exhalations. Beautiful. And next we're moving into a little bit of a heart opener here, knowing that if this is not comfortable for you or within your practice, you can feel free to skip it, as with anything. If you'd like to try it today, you'll take your hands behind you on the mat, the fingertips facing you. Your feet will find the mat and your knees will reach toward the sky. As you inhale, pressing into the hands, lifting the chest slightly. Beautiful. Opening up through that chest space. And then release, maybe swaying the legs from side to side gently. And then we'll make our way down onto the mat. We're finding a supine position. And if it's comfortable for you, you can lift the arms toward the ceiling. We're going to do a little bit of stretching for the fingers. So with each inhalation, you'll spread the fingers out as wide as you can. You exhale, you find a fist with your hand. And continue this at your own pace, alternating your movements with your breath. A little break for the hands. Moving with your inhalations and your exhalations. And if you'd like, you can also keep a bend in those arms, if keeping them straight is a little bit too much. Good, and then when you're ready, release the arms. They can come alongside body. And begin to find a little bit of movement in the wrists, flexing and extending. If you'd like, you can circle them around a little bit, whatever feels good. Feeling no pain, no discomfort here. Good, and then releasing the arms, bring them alongside body. We're going to move into a little bit of ankle motion here. It's beginning to point and flex the feet. Again, moving with your inhalations and your exhalations. You inhale, point. Exhale, toes to sky. And noticing the sensations down the back of the legs. Noticing any sensations in the ankle joints. Beautiful. And then moving into a full body stretch here. So if it's more comfortable for you, your arms can stay alongside your body. And otherwise, you can bring them overhead if that's within your practice. As you inhale, visualize your head and your toes stretching in opposite directions, feeling the stretch down the entire body. Again, you can control how intense you make this stretch. You can make it very, very subtle if that's better for you today. Take one more breath, feeling the expansion. As you exhale, begin to bring the knees into chest, holding the knees with your hands, maybe rocking from side to side gently. Noticing how that feels for the low back. And then keep your right knee in towards your chest. You can begin to extend the left toes down towards the bottom of your space. The left knee can also remain bent, and the left foot can find the mat if that's more comfortable for you. Right knee to chest pose. Hands on the front of the shin. Noticing how this feels. Beautiful. And then whenever you're ready, we'll begin to switch out the legs. Left knee coming into chest. Right foot extending towards the bottom of your space, or maybe finding the mat with the knee bent. Taking a few breaths here. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, bend both knees. We're moving into a happy baby pose. So the hands can find the shins, the ankles, maybe the toes. You can also use yoga straps around the feet to assist you in this shape if you'd like. Finding a little bit of opening for the inner thighs. If you'd like to rock side to side gently, you can. Good, and then we'll begin to find our way to a seated pose. And let's close the eyes for a moment. Let's just check in with our breath, flowing nice and naturally, those nice deep inhalations and exhalations. Take a deep inhalation, feeling the expansion of the belly, and you exhale, releasing any stale air, anything that no longer serves you. Inhale, feeling the expansion, and exhale, release. And taking a few more breaths here, feeling very grounded. Beautiful. And then we'll begin to make our way to a standing pose, however you'd like to get there. And we're moving into a mountain pose. The palms facing the front of your space, pressing down through the feet. The thighs are engaged, allowing the shoulders to fall. Chin slightly tilted downward. Crown of the head reaching toward the ceiling. Feeling very strong in this pose, very stable. And then if you'd like, a few optional sun breaths here, a little bit of arm movement, cultivating a little bit of strength. As you inhale, arms begin to rise, maybe just a little bit, or maybe to shoulder level. or maybe overhead, whatever feels good to you. And you exhale, bring your hands through heart center. And 2 more breaths here. Inhale, the arms lift. Exhale, heart center. And inhale, rise. Exhale, coming into center. Good, and then when you're ready, we'll begin to shift into a little bit of standing balance if you'd like to include that in your practice today. And keep in mind that you can always find a little bit of support by holding onto a chair or onto the wall or really any stable surface. When you're ready, we'll begin to move into tree pose, so growing heavy through the left foot, beginning the outward rotation of that right leg, the knee bent. The right toes can stay grounded. They can begin to lift, finding the way onto the calf. If it's in your practice, you can bring the foot to the thigh. Wherever you are, just make sure you avoid placing any pressure onto the knee joint. And then finding a focal point where you can place your attention, any unmoving spot that'll help you to find a sense of balance here and stability. Crown of the head reaching toward the ceiling, body nice and long. You feel very strong here, very stable. Activation of the core slightly to support you. And take 1 more breath. And then as you exhale, release the foot. Take any movements that feel good. We'll begin to transition to the other side. So now the right foot grows heavy. And you begin to rotate that left leg. And then choose your shape. The toes can remain grounded. Foot may be finding its way to your calf, to your thigh. And arms are yours to choose as well. You can keep them at heart center. You can keep them alongside body, fingertips towards your mat. Or you can bring them up toward the sky for a little bit of an extra challenge, if it's comfortable. 1 more breath here. And then when you're ready, release. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, we'll begin to shift back toward the mat, finding a seated pose. You can feel free to stay here. Again, 1 hand on the chest, 1 on the abdomen, practicing those nice deep inhalations and exhalations. If you'd like, optional, we'll begin to move into child's pose. And if this is not comfortable or you don't have experience here, feel free to remain in seated or come onto your back and close the eyes for a little extra relaxation. If child's pose is in your practice, keep in mind that you can always use a block beneath the forehead and a pillow beneath your torso for some additional support if that's easier. Allowing the tailbone to fall towards the ankles. Feeling the expansion. Beautiful. Taking 2 more breaths here. Good. And then when you're ready, begin to press down through the palms if you're in child's pose, lifting the torso. And begin to find your way into a seated shape. And take a few deep cleansing breaths here. Beautiful. And then we'll begin to shift down to a supine position, taking the knees into chest, maybe rocking from side to side, just like we did earlier. If you're not already there, we'll begin to find our way onto our backs for our final pose today, Shavasana. If there's anything in your practice that we skipped, if inversions like legs up the wall are in your practice, or if there were any other shapes that you were hoping to take that we missed, feel free to go there now. And then we'll all meet in a comfortable position, preparing for a little bit of meditation. Traditionally just lying on the mat, palms facing the ceiling, and you can use props like bolsters or blankets to modify the shape to make it comfortable for you, maybe a pillow. And then just close the eyes and again begin to scan the body from the crown of the head all the way down to the tips of your toes. If there are any points of tension that are remaining, really focus on visualizing that tension dissolving with each inhalation. Noticing the differences between how you feel now and how you felt at the beginning of the class, maybe feeling a little bit more open. Noticing that you created a little bit more space. And bringing your attention to the face, no remaining tension in your brow. Beautiful. Allowing the tongue to fall from the roof of the mouth. Relaxing the jaw. And then shifting your awareness to the neck and the shoulders. No remaining tension here. Allowing yourself to release. And moving your attention into the arms now. Nice and relaxed. The forearms, the wrists, the hands all released, and the fingers curling in naturally. And then bringing your awareness to the chest, noticing how it rises and falls with each inhalation and exhalation. And moving down to the belly, again noticing the expansion and contraction as you breathe. The hips nice and relaxed. Releasing the thighs. And moving into the muscles of the lower leg and the calves. No remaining tension there. Allowing the feet to fall out naturally. Relaxing the toes. Your body feels very heavy. You feel very safe in the space that you've created for yourself. To practice a little bit of relaxation. Knowing that if any thoughts come to you, you allow them to pass through your mind like clouds passing through the sky. And simply acknowledge them and then let them go, not dwelling on any one in particular. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, we'll begin to wake the body up slightly, bringing a little bit of movement into the fingers and the toes, maybe rocking your head from side to side very gently. Beginning to turn the attention outward. Beautiful. And then finding your way to an easy seated shape where we started our practice today. And taking a moment to bring your hands to heart center. With the eyes closed, just taking a moment to feel a sense of gratitude to yourself for taking the time today to practice a little bit of relaxation and to find a little bit of restoration. Thank you for rolling out the mat with me today. I wish you all a fantastic rest of your day and rest of your week.